everybody, this is Stephanie from Razzle Dazzle Rabbitry Yarns. Today we're going to show you a video specifically on how to trim the bib of the rabbit, so under the rabbit's neck. And we are going to do that with Aria today. Okay, so we have our rabbit, we have our scissors, we're sitting. We're simply going to take Aria and we want her flipped over on her back so we can get to her bib under her neck. So we're going to flip her very gently. We're holding her ribs and her ears. This is something that we work with our rabbits. So we're just gonna make sure we can get to her bib. What we're gonna do, if that happens, it's pretty simple. Lay them back down. Sometimes that happens if you kind of nudge them the wrong way. So you can tell she's tense, her feet are like this. We want her to calm down. We're going to take our scissors and go at an angle.
Each time I pick up my scissors and trim a section of Aria's wool, I'm trimming small sections. I'm not making overly large swipes across her bib area. I'm simply opening up the area at first, and I'm sorting the fiber after I trim it. It takes time because I'm setting the scissors down, picking the wool up, and putting it in the appropriate pile. However, it is much easier to take your wool when it's been nicely sorted and you have your prime wool separated from your seconds or your thirds. Prime wool is, for our angoras, it's going to be around 3 inches or more long. It's not going to be stained, it's not going to be webbed, it's not going to have any debris in it. That's prime wool, nice and clean. You can spin it right off the rabbit. Seconds are a little bit shorter. Maybe they have just a teensy bit of webbing in them, but thirds, you really don't want to have thirds with your rabbit. Thirds are short fibers, or they're matted fibers, or they're dirty fibers. And if you're shearing your rabbit and you have a lot of thirds, that means you have to work on either the breeding quality of your rabbits for their wool, or you have to work on your animal husbandry practices, so you have to keep their environment cleaner. Also, working on your grooming is important. At this point in the video, I've sped it up to 2 times faster than the actual time recording. What that tells you when you're watching this is I was shearing quite slowly. Under the rabbit's chin, on their neck, it's a vulnerable area. There's a lot going on. If you have a wrong move, it can be pretty dangerous. It can be pretty detrimental, so you want to avoid that. Sometimes when you're starting out shearing, I know I felt a lot of pressure to be able to shear smoothly, to shear fast, to get the rabbit done. And this video is here to tell you there's no need for it. If you have to take breaks, take a break, take some time, find videos that help you do what you want to do with your rabbit. And this is Aria's first time shearing. This is her first time getting a haircut. Aria was only born on July 22nd, 2017, not 2012. Holy moly. So she's a young girl and she's been handled, but sometimes, as you can see, she just takes a little bit extra convincing that it's okay. You can tell also by looking at Aria's feet, the way she's holding them, she's still tense. She's got herself a little bit crunched up. She's not convinced that everything's okay. She's not convinced, apparently, of my shearing abilities. But that's all right. We just keep going. We keep shearing. When you work around their paws and their arms, there's a little bit of nooks and crannies and dips to be aware of. And if you're using scissors with a point like I am, just be aware of where the point ends when you're clipping. One of the other things I wish someone would have told me when I was learning how to shear rabbits is, you know what? These rabbits, they have a mind of their own. You have to respect them, and you have to respect the fact that when you're shearing them, there's going to be a time when they flinch. There's going to be a time when the rabbit moves, and unfortunately, you might give them a little nick. We try very hard not to. All of the angora owners I know try hard not to do that. Try hard to take care of their rabbits as best as they can and to respect them. Take a look at all those second cuts on my leg. Look at that. So all those little bits of fiber that you see that I just picked up, those are called second cuts. And you really want to avoid those. We don't want to be trimming and get tons and tons of those in there, because that makes the angora pretty difficult to spin. It makes your yarn kind of bunchy. Now, if you do get second cuts, that's all right too. You can easily felt with them. You can use them to practice dyeing with. So we just keep trimming along, trimming along. We watched Arya's sister, Sansa, get sheared in a previous video that we have on YouTube. What you're going to find is, even though they're sisters, there you go. Arya's got a mind of her own. What you're watching is a rabbit say, no, I don't like the way you touched my arm. I don't like the way you moved. And when that happens, what you want to do, you want to know where your scissors are. You want to make sure the rabbit does not fall off your lap. You want to just maintain control. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen with rabbits. They, even though angoras are bred to be around humans, to be shorn, they still have their limits. They still have their preferences. If they don't like something, they'll do exactly what Arya did, and they'll let you know. I just touched her paw. You could see that same paw that I touched, but I moved it differently. I didn't move it the same way that she didn't like it. And look it, she lets me clip her. So you can still see there's some tension. Here's the finished product. Hope you enjoyed.